everybody. This is your boy Sean here with Trucking Life with Sean. We've got a special show for you today. I said we got a few people already watching. We can take questions and answers, or answers and questions, maybe toward the end. If we see the comment come up, it's something we can answer, we will. I've got Dale Senior with me today. He's from Canada. He's head of the recruiting up there with Rosedale, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna let him just introduce himself. He's the person that I've got a lot of my knowledge from over the last few months, and hopefully he can. We got a good show today. We're gonna be talking about cameras. We're gonna be talking about safety. We're gonna be talking about idling, speeding, and hopefully we can answer some questions. But I'm just gonna let Dale. I'm gonna let you take the show.
Well, you're gonna ask some questions, and I'll do some answers. But
we can do that too.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry since '87. Been driving since '89, so quite a few years. Most of my experience is over the road in drive-in, but I've done a little bit of reefer. I've done a little bit of flatbed as well, but majority of it is in drive-in. In 2007, I made a move to the inside into safety compliance. Did quite a few years of that. Was a corporate safety manager at another place, and I'm heading up recruiting and training here now. Looking after new drivers, looking after experienced drivers, and kind of helping with a safety platform.
So, and as y'all know, I drove for 16 years. I just come off the road in April. So I'm new to this whole office thing. I'm new to all this stuff. But, as a driver, we look at kind of safety as like, I don't like safety. Or I didn't at the time. But now that I've got into the office, I've seen a lot of the stuff that I didn't actually see as a driver. I mean, I didn't have no accidents or nothing, but I can see where some of this technology is very good to have, especially with what we have here. We use the Samsara system. You want to tell them a little bit about Samsara for the ones that don't know what Samsara is?
Well, Samsara is a type of telematic. I'm pretty experienced with several different platforms. I won't speak negative of any of them. They're all good. Samsara, I think, is the best platform, and that's what we're utilizing here. But it's basically a data collector. It's not being used to intrude. It's being used to collect data to help us, help you, help the industry. It does several different things. One of which is dash cams, and which I think we'll get into a little bit. But it's basically a data collector. That's all it is.
Right. And what I'm using it for is training drivers. So we have a score system from 0 to 100, and it grades drivers on their speed. It grades drivers on harsh events, and we can go into that too. But it allows us to see in real time what drivers are doing. And it's not to, get one up on you or anything like that. It's actually to educate you and help you become a safer driver, help you succeed in driving. A lot of drivers come right out of school. They don't have a lot of training. That's a whole episode we can talk about on another one. But they don't get a lot of training, and that's because of the schools. Now, I ain't talking about here, but the schools put them right through 2 or 3 weeks. They get in their CDL and say, hey, you're a truck driver. That don't actually make you a truck driver. So here at Rosedale, when you come in here, we have a program that you go through that we work with you, and we teach you the fundamentals of being safe. But then after that, we can kind of watch you as you go along, and we can see stuff in real time. So if you're out there speeding, you're going to head down a hill too fast, I get an alert. It's not that we're micromanaging you. It's that we can help you succeed instead of making those mistakes. I made mistakes. I'm sure we all have. I just kind of got away with some of them, but back in the day. But everybody makes mistakes, but you don't want to make that one mistake that's deadly, that it hurts someone and kills someone. So with this Samsara system, I'm able to tell in real time your speed, your harsh braking, and I can actually see video. And when I see it, I don't call the drivers like, I got you. I send them the video over to them so they can actually see, which I think is a really good technology, so they can actually see what they did wrong. They're able to see what they did, and then we can take that to the next training level to make drivers better. And that's what it's about. It's not about weeding out and firing drivers, getting rid of them, disciplining them, writing them up. And a lot of people think, oh God, they're going to use that to micromanage. Now, I'm not going to say some companies won't. There is companies out there. They're just, I don't want to say companies, but there's people that get a certain big head about themselves, I guess you want to call it, or an ego trip, and that's not good. Especially in the safety department, especially in the coaching department, you don't need nobody in there with an ego. We're here to help. We're here to help drivers. I know a lot of y'all drivers that are watching right now watch or work yeah, excuse me. They do work for them still. So if you have any questions on that, now's a good time. You can leave in the comments so we can get back with you. But I've learned a lot over the last month. I've been taking these courses, and there's stuff that we can do, and we can actually see data and see things over time. Idling, I didn't realize how idling was such a major cost to a company. Dale, if you want to go into
Oh,
that.
huge cost, and we've been all over the idle. We've decreased our idle time significantly. I see what's happening down there as well. Significant impact and significant decrease. Some of that times is just communication back. Need to make sure that we're giving the tools to our team and out there. Other companies need to make sure that they're giving the tools to the driver to succeed. But once the tools are there, this is a way to monitor success. And there's a huge impact to the bottom line with decreased idle, and we've significantly decreased it and are improving still. The way that we've built this program, we're measuring percentage of idle, so it's a very fair measure. Um, it, and it takes into account up to 2 minutes stopped. So if the truck is running and not moving at the 2 minute mark, it starts to count the idle time. Um, and what our targets are easily achievable with APUs and EPUs, and we're looking for a 15%. Some of the industry is getting much better than that. Some of it is not getting anywhere near 15%.
Owner operators, make sure you listen up to this.
It's
A
all
lot of
about,
money in this island. I'm telling you, I had no idea.
yeah. Another significant thing that we have done when setting up the safety program is, Sean, you spoke about that number, and the greatest impact to that number is overspeed. So we're looking at an overspeed percentage, not necessarily if you're going over the speed limit for a minute. It's not a concern as far as that safety score goes. It's the percentage of time over the speed limit that you're doing and the percentage of the speed limit that you're doing. So obviously, the higher you go, the more impact there is on that score. What we've noticed is that forcefully um, impacts decision times. So it's a positive to the decision times. If you slow down, nobody's asking you to go under the speed limit. We're not. I'll name some companies that do, but I won't name them. We're asking speed limits. Maintain the speed limit, do the speed limit, and you'll be successful. When you're doing the speed limit, it gives you more reaction times, so we see a decrease in preventable accidents. What we also see is a huge fuel consumption difference, so huge. So just by taking it down a couple mile per hour, staying at the speed limit, not going over the speed limit, there's a huge impact to the bottom line on the MPG.
Joe, we're going to add you in once when me and Dale are done. I'll add you in for the second part. It may just be where one of you can come on at a time. So whenever we're done, Joe, you'll just go back into that link. I think that's what it is. I see your comment down here. He said he's in here is trucking one bite at a time. That's his name at the bottom down there. He's having problems, but yeah, like you were saying, speed. There's a lot of reasons we shouldn't speed. To me, the first thing that comes to mind is I don't want to wreck, but I don't want to hurt nobody. But you also got to remember that there's other people on the road besides you. There's somebody's mama, somebody's daddy, somebody's kids. Your daughter's riding down the road. So speeding is not just for your safety; it's for a lot of families on the road that don't realize. And your reaction time, like you said, your reaction time is a lot better if you go the speed limit or below the speed limit. Again, like you said, we're not asking you to go way under the speed limit; just go speed limit. But something comes up and there's something happens in the road, you're going to be able to adjust better by doing the speed limit. Okay, that's the number one thing is safety. So you got stuff that happens in the road. Stuff falls off somebody's truck. A guy skids out. Those are all good reasons right there to not speed. You don't want to lose your license. Losing your license, getting speeding tickets are very expensive. We spend a lot of money going through this training, getting our CDL just to throw it away for speeding. Don't make sense. But the other side that I didn't know when I come to the office is how much money overall speeding cost.
Yeah.
You notice there's those big companies out there. I want to start with a P. I ain't gonna say the name, but they go with 60, 65 or 62 or something like that. I'm not sure, but there's a reason why they do that. Now, I don't like going that slow. I'm not saying I don't want our company to do that, but by slowing down your speed, you reduce fuel, which overall can save money. That's how we get raises. That's how we can get better equipment. That's how a lot of things go along. You say, well, Sean, I don't care if he makes money. Well, you should. You should care because the more they make, the better they can take care of us and to keep us employed, especially in these hard times that we're both countries. He's from Canada, I'm down here, but everybody's been going through a thing. So in this time in this type of economy, you want to be the best that you could be. Whatever it is, I don't care if you're flipping hamburger drivers. If you're out there, you want to be the best McDonald's hamburger. You want to be the last person that they'll let go. That's the way I looked at it. So by saving them money, it helps me keep my job. It helps me keep them, feeding my kids. So there's a lot of reasons to do that. But the idling, and we'll go into the idling. I didn't realize, how much it cost her, and when I was driving, when I was on a truck. We don't want you to freeze. We're not asking you to get out there and freeze. People say, don't idle your truck. You're thinking, that son of a gun wants me to freeze. I ain't going to do it. Nobody's asking you to freeze. Nobody's asking you to burn up. We're simply saying if your truck has an APU or an EPU, use it. If it don't, let us know so we can fix it. If it's not working properly, just let us know. We spent what was he saying today? What, about 15,000? Is that what we spent on our unit? $15,000? Something like 12,000, something like that.
For an APU aftermarket, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that's a lot of money to spend for us not to use it. So make sure you use it. And then when you're not in your truck, just turn it off. I see people in the yard all the time, and I'm sure you have too, Dale, where people just get out of the truck, they leave it running, and walk on in for I don't know why, but just don't do it.
Old habits die hard, and that's true of again 35 years and most of them driving. So I'm not speaking from somebody that never did it. It's the same as me. Old habits die hard, and I'll tell you another something about that as well. Away from the idle, so sometimes what we see with new drivers is new drivers into the industry as opposed to experienced drivers. There's no question that you can't buy experience. Experience comes through experience. That's the only way to get it. Your skills improve. You hone your skills, but sometimes you pick up bad habits along the way. And some of the new drivers don't have those habits yet. That doesn't mean that they're better or more skilled. They're not. They're new. They're new to the industry. Just like anything, you can't be good or the best at it until you've got the experience. But what we see sometimes with experienced drivers is a little bit of complacency. They pick up bad habits along the way, and some of this is to help that break the habit. It's everybody does it. Everybody, me included. We have bad habits. Sometimes we just need a little bit of help recognizing the habit and eliminating the habit. And it's not here and never will be here to say that somebody that's just got into this is better than somebody that's got even 5 years experience. Uh, they won't be that good until they have 5 years. The more miles you do, the more you see. But
more exposure you get.
Yeah, more exposure, the more exposure to climate, weather, all different kinds of things. I sometimes laugh about simulation and the use of it, and getting in a simulator, that's cool. It's really really cool. It's not driving. From somebody that's driven, it's not driving. It's not the same. It doesn't mean that it's not a good tool, but it's not the same. It's you spend 100 hours behind the simulator, 2 weeks of driving in a truck. The reality is the 2 weeks of real experience is real experience.
So we got a comment down here from Dennis that says, as an owner operator for Crete, I can run 70, but I only drive 68 miles per hour. And I also have an APU and I do not idle. So even though he can run, he knows he's owner operator. When
Hey,
you're an owner operator, that money's in your pocket. It's a little different, ain't it?
Skin in the game, right? So they know all about it.
Yeah. All right. Then we got United Billy said, what about running in below zero trucking? I seen a trucker in upper Midwest wish they would keep their truck running.
Well, I guess being from Canada, maybe I should answer that question. It's pretty cold up here.
Yeah.
Upper Midwest, I mean, it can get cold. There is situations where we're not going to debate when it gets down to a certain temperature. Necessity to keep the truck running sometimes does happen. But truth be known, when we're looking at most of the idle, it isn't happening in those conditions. And I'm here to tell you, I've minus 45, minus 50 conditions. So and that's Celsius and Fahrenheit meet. So I'm talking Celsius, you're talking Fahrenheit, but at that temperature, it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Cold is cold, and I've run in those conditions. And yes, there's certain situations where the truck does need to remain idling. It's imperative. If you shut it down, it may not start. But most of the conditions that we see in the idle time that we incur are not those conditions.
Let's talk about this. But I don't think a lot of drivers know this. Some of the drivers that don't have an APU and they don't have an EPU, they have a, what do we call them? So they call it something that's a bunk heater, but what is it called?
Oh,
S-bar.
Or an S-bar, yeah.
An S-bar. Tell them about it. I didn't know that about the S-bar systems, how they work. If you're out there with an S-bar system that you've had all summer long and you haven't cranked it up or hadn't run it because it ain't been warm, tell them about it, Dale.
Yeah, so the S-bar system, it's a great system. It'll keep you warm. When it's not super cold, it'll bake you right out of the bunk. But it is important that even through the summer months, that those are turned on like once a month, once every 2 months to run. You don't need to be in the truck when it's running, and it doesn't need to run long, but it needs to run a cycle. Because what will happen, if you go 6 months and then start up your S-bar, lots of times the filters are clogged. They need to get repaired. So they should be done through preventative maintenance. During the PMs, they should be fired up and run just to burn off. And if you do that, lifespan of an S-bar should be 3 to 4 years without question.
So drivers, no matter what company you work for, you've been in an S-bar system, you ain't cranked it up. I advise you to go ahead and do it before you get somewhere you need it. But so far as saving fuel, what are some other good options? I know making sure your air pressure is good on your tires. I know that is very, very important. Keeping them, you don't want to run too low, too high. That has a lot to do with fuel. Just keeping that door closed and keeping moving, not idling. But other than tire pressure, other than idling, and other than not speeding, what else can we do to save on fuel?
Well, one of the biggest things, especially in urban environment, but even on the highway, is anticipation and keeping the truck rolling, anticipating. All of that has to do with defensive driving and maintaining space. And if you're maintaining space cushion, it's much easier to anticipate. Inside the city, when you're getting off the highways, off the interstates, anticipation is huge. So a lot of fuel consumption happens in an urban environment, and the ability to I heard you once say on one of yours, Sean, about smooth operator.
Smooth operator. Yeah, you got to be
smooth operation is a huge fuel.
Easy on the brakes, easy on the steering. Just be smooth on all of it.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw my hand up and say that cruise control is.
I was about to ask. You know it was coming.
Well, it is. For fuel, it's a great tool. Experience tells me that I'm not a cruise guy. I don't like it.
How long did you drive for, Dale?
I drove 20 years steady, and then I've driven driven since then. I've also do LCVs up in Canada, so the long combinations, 253-footers. So there's only a handful of carriers and a handful of drivers in Canada do that.
There's Thomas Morgan. I see he's on there. Thomas Morgan is one of our he's one of our top mileage drivers. He stays right there at 90, a little below, but he's one of our top. I mean, as far as our revenue person, that's our guy right there, Thomas Morgan. I like to put him on the show one day. He gets his miles. If you look, he gets his miles every week. I mean, it don't matter. He'll never go home. He just runs. He keeps that door shut, and he uses his hours. Like, I don't know how he does it, but some guy got 11 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Every day he plans his routes, and I'd love to bring him on the show one day. But Thomas, if you're listening right now, what is your opinion on cruise control? You've been driving for almost 20 years. Like I said, it does save fuel, but it can be dangerous, especially in the wintertime, man. And especially with these automatic trucks that we have, like these, I don't want to call automatic, but they are automatic, but the automatic braking system, that scares me a little bit too. When you get it on cruise, and it locks up, and it sees a shadow. That's a little nerve wracking. Would be to me anyway. Have y'all had any problems with that up there? Yeah.
But I understand your concern, and I don't feel any different. There's technology that is easy.
Yeah, it's good and bad. There's good technology, bad technology. It's how you use it. Definitely how you use it.
But we haven't, knock on wood, we haven't had any bad experiences. That.
Says cruise control is great. Just don't outrun your view of things. And that's true too. Don't outrun your view of things. That's true. Got to definitely pay attention. But listen, so we're going to start doing these little podcasts. Me and Dale Joe are thinking about putting a podcast together. We're going to do I'm going to do a survey on the channel. And I know y'all, right now we got 24 people watching, but by the morning it'll be 1,000 because nobody realized that I was going to do it, But we're thinking about putting a podcast separate from Trucking Life with Sean, where it's a podcast that can be hours long that y'all can listen to. We can bring in stuff like different stories and news things, and we can just kind of shoot the bull. And I'll have different people on. Like Joe wants to come on, but doing the YouTube live thing is only working like that. But once we start the podcast, it'll be a full setup. It'll be right, and then y'all will be able to listen to us for free either on YouTube or we'll run on all the platforms. So if y'all have any ideas for that, please let me know in the comments if there's something y'all listen to. Because I know podcast is a good thing to do, and I believe we have a lot of knowledge that we can give out, and we can bring different drivers on. Didn't you say you've got people up in the government and stuff that you can bring in?
We have government that we could approach to come in and speak as well. Different ideas, lots of different contexts.
Yeah, so today y'all is just kind of like a preview of the podcast that we're thinking about putting together. But y'all can let me know in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about it. I'm gonna do a survey later. We're trying to come up with some different names. I think we had 10-4 podcast, Break 19 podcast, 3 drivers, 1 mic. I like that one. 3 drivers, 1 mic. I think that's great. And then North to South podcast, but it's kind of like what my channel does, but it'll be probably weekly. We'll probably do it once a week. Start out like doing that and bring y'all up to date some different rules, regulations as things change. If there's a storm going on around that time, we might give a little, areas not to be driving in or road closures or just kind of trucking stuff. That's what it'll be about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what some of your followers have for suggestions as well. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I do too. So I appreciate you joining us, Dale. We got a lot that we can keep talking forever, I'm sure, but I'm going to try to get Joe in on here and see if we can get him patched in, see if that'll work after you sign out. So I can let Joe talk a minute. But yeah, guys, if y'all interested in us doing a podcast, well, it don't matter if y'all interested or not, we're going to probably do it anyway. But I like talking. Dale likes talking, and we can talk without getting on nobody else's nerves. We can get on our own nerves and talk. So y'all can listen or not, right?
All right, buddy.
Somebody said, Jordan Brown says, I love this idea. Breaker, great. Driver podcast is thumbs up. Thanks for all your support. Somebody said Canada, the 51st state. I ain't getting into politics,
Ooh,
y'all. We ain't getting into that now. We're not going to talk politics on this
not a
channel.
political show.
Great show. Thanks. Happy New Year to all. But yeah, we got some good positive comments down here. Yeah, we ain't getting into that stuff. That mess. All right, well, go ahead and see if you can. I'm gonna go ahead and sign you out, Joe. Joe, are you? I'm sure you're still listening. Once I hang up, I'm gonna see if you can come on in. Okay. Thomas Morgan said they don't want to talk. They don't want. They don't want me to talk. They'd fire me. All right. See you, Dale.
Yes, yeah.
All right. All right, Joe. Where you at? I'm gonna send you. See if I can send you the link. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, Joe. Where you at? Hold on. I got to figure out how to send it to you. Unless you still got it. If you still got it, I don't see you're on here though. It says you're here. Let's see if I can add you. Send an invite to guest. See if that'll let you come on. If it don't, let me know. Yeah, positive topics. We're always going to be positive on this channel. That is for sure. Always have been, always will. Don't know what's going on with you, Joe, but I did send you the link again. Let's see here. You got the invite. I just need you to click on it, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get to bring. Joe is my mentor. Joe has taught me a lot of stuff. Yeah, I got moved, man. I'm right here at Dalton. I got there's my window about there. I got the pool down there. From apartment. It's too cold for the pool though, but you know how that goes. All right, let's see here. We're waiting on Joe to get in. If it doesn't work, Joe, we'll have to try it a different way. But man, that sucks. I really want to bring Joe in. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm right here in Dalton. So Thomas, when you get ready to do a 34, you know, you can always come here and wash some laundry, take a shower here. You gotta worry about doing it in the yard. All right. I don't know if Joe's gonna make it. It says try my brother. Don't see you on it. Try it again. The link has been sent again, boss. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, Joe. Oh, here we go. Look at there. Look at there. Got him. Got him. There he is. Hey, Joe. Where's my buddy?
How
How you doing, bro?
Good, good. Sorry, man. I don't know what's
This
going on.
is new to us. Once we actually start the podcast, I've got a platform system we're going to use, and we'll all be on there to be nice and neat. But the
Oh,
YouTube going live together, I think it's just bringing in one at a time. You know what I mean? I think that's what it does.
yeah.
I thought you could bring three in, but I guess not. Guess not. But anyway, so look, y'all. This is my mentor. This is the guy that's gave me all the education for when I come out off the truck. He taught me some stuff that I don't know. He still teaches me stuff every day. But introduce yourself, Joe, and tell him what you're about and all about yourself.
What am I about? I've been in trucking pretty much all my life. I've been driving for about 40 years, and I've been a professional trainer about 12. But you know, even before being a professional trainer, I've always had you know the
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
and you know, keep people happy best we can. But you know, saying that, you know, us guys, we don't get the recognition I feel that we should get of what we do and what drivers do all day. and I have it on my link there saying that you had it, it means the truck brought it.
Right,
And
exactly.
I don't think people realize that. But you know what? We could be talking about this all day and stuff, but I think our little get together here today was based on telematics. And I guess we started about, what is it, 3 or 4 years ago? 4 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, telematics been around longer than we think. Everything we have in our homes and phones and computers and all that is all telematics.
I bet.
Starting in 1973, where US came up with the GPS, and in 1978, where the government of France came up with the word telematics. You know, they put those two together, and that's what we have today. Samsara is top five in the league of telematics. You know, where they started in 2015, and that wasn't too far away from now. But at the end of the day, where they get their information from, guess where that's from? That's from you and me and all the good truck drivers that we have. So, like it's a great tool. There's some downfalls on it that not everybody can afford it. If you're a
Right.
small, if you're a small carrier, you can't.
Yeah, yeah, Thomas, I am. Oh,
What's
you're
that?
good. You froze up there for a minute. You're good now.
Yeah. So the bigger carriers can afford this, and it's a benefit to big carriers to have it based on what the world is today. Um, but there is downfalls in having the telematics that we have today, and we've went through some loops and some curves to get it to where it is today, and stuff like uh, the Confidentiality Act. There's a there's a bunch of rules of drivers didn't want cameras in their trucks. For the most part today, most drivers appreciate having cameras in trucks, uh, but at the same time, um, there is many different things that costing company, and it just keeps going on. Like from where you start, you keep paying, and bigger companies for somewhat afford it. And at the end of the day, we're the ones that are giving all these telematic companies the information they need to keep
Right.
going.
Data.
My
It's all
job,
data.
pardon me,
It's all data. Data, data, data.
it's all data. It's all data. As far as that, from the data we get today, where before we would be sitting in a truck with a guy all day, just hanging out with him, and just trying to correct, not make it something that was going to hurt anybody, but just to give them pointers and to correct that they tend to, how would you say it?
Help them succeed.
Yeah, yeah, get them to bring back what they used to have. And you know what? I've been with a lot of trucks and I've been with a lot of drivers, and I've never had any negativity for being with our drivers. So now telematics kicked in, where telematics is telling you what everybody does versus one at a time. So I feel that it is going to make our roads safer. It's going to make our roads better. It's going to save money for the company. It's going to save a lot of different items that we never had.
And
So I'm not.
it's all about the approach too, Joe. Like you told me in the beginning, technology can be used for bad and good. You can have a safety director or a coach or a lead trainer that's full of himself, and I want to call them and just want to punish drivers and suspend them or show them that they're better, got the big complex thing. That's not the way it should be. And I'm glad to say here at Rosedale, it's not like that at all, which is great because it's here to help drivers succeed, not to belittle them and not to use it against them. Like, so a lot of people come and they'll say, well, Sean, I don't, I don't want, somebody just said, what do y'all think about AI trucks? We'll get to that in a minute, but I don't want to be micromanaged. Well, we're not micromanaging you. What we do with this is that if you're going down a mountain 85 miles an hour, mile on eagle, you shouldn't be doing that. But if you keep doing it and getting away with it, you're going to start doing it more. Now we have these alerts that get sent to us, and if anybody that goes over 75, I get an alert that's usually going to be downhill, and I call them right then. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? I'm not calling them to cuss them out or to tell them that I'm better than them or anything like that. I'm calling them and say, hey, so you're doing. They're like, guess why I'm calling, buddy? And they're like, oh God, I got you. But they quit doing it. You know what I mean? And it made them a safer driver because somebody told me one time, you can go down a mountain 1,000 times too slow. It only takes one time too fast or you're hurt. So it's very important. But like you said, it's not just new drivers. It's drivers like me, drivers like you that get used to doing certain things and get relaxed. And, we got our feet up, making a bologna sandwich, going down the road or something, cooking some bacon, reaching your back in the back, eating bacon, right? But it's for that. It'll show us if they do a rolling stop sign. I think your camera froze up there, Joe. You froze up, looks like. There you go. I can hear you. I can hear you. Just got a froze picture, but it's okay. At least you ain't got a funny. At least you don't look like that or nothing. You got a steady face anyway. But it also shows us rolling stop signs. It shows us um, harsh events about like hard braking, turning too fast, things like that. A lot of the hard braking is where people are just following too close. Following too close. There you go. You're back. Following too close. The way the Samsara puts the advantage if you're 4 seconds or less behind. Some of y'all I see are running like 2 seconds, which is crazy. We shouldn't do that. And you know what? I was guilty of it probably too. We all are. But like I said, so far since we've been doing this, and I've been doing this since April, I haven't had to actually write anybody up or fire anybody. I did have to give 2 warnings, written warnings, because I did it a couple times, but I haven't had to suspend nobody. And like you said, Joe, we went from what was our score back in April? Maybe I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that online, but we our score was low, but it's really good now. A lot better than it
Yeah.
was. Let's put it that way. I don't want to put too much out there, but and it's due to not because of me. It's not because of Joe. It's because somebody's paying attention and it's the Samsara system.
I think that's exactly what it is. We're sharing information just like we share Samsara information to Samsara on what all our drivers do. That's how they have the program today. It's from people like us. When we're sharing information to drivers, you know what? It's not to hurt people. Because
Right.
I'll tell you, the minute I talk to a driver, he basically says, "Oh, okay, I hear what you're saying. I'll have him sit down. I'll show him what's going on, and right away the light bulb goes out. And you know what? It's a good thing. So it's like coaching and being their friends at the same time. And you know what? I've never had anybody with bad feedback on it. They appreciate what we do, and Rosedale, they they're there for us. They want us to give them the best, and we want the best out of them. So, but this telematics stuff, it's not like old days where it was just piece of paper and pen and start writing numbers down. Now it's all computerized. It tells you exactly where you are and what you do and how you do it, and tells you where you are and how fast you're going and how slow you're going. And it's not a bad thing.
It's
I'm
not.
gonna
It's how you look at it.
I'm gonna tell you straight out. First started that, there was a few bones in my body that didn't like it neither. I'm no different than anybody else. They're gonna be watching me. That I can't do what I've always done, and you know what? It's all learning curve. Everything change. Changes are good. Changes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. For example, we have for y'all drivers down here in the U.S., and especially the southern U.S., we all know we can't drive through Atlanta. Well, I was messing around with Samsara the other day, and I was able to put a perimeter inside of Atlanta. We have to take the 285 around it. We can't go through. We had a driver went go through, and he got charged with unsafe driving. And so we put this geo fence in. And a lot of people I caught probably not want to say caught, but I got the coach probably about 9 people last week that went through there. And the ones that went through there said they didn't know. Well, they should have known because there's a sign. Following the GPS is not always, like I said, technology is always not right. They all said their trucker GPS took them through there. But this therapist sends me a text message. And I called him like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And most of the drivers didn't know, or they really pretended like they didn't know. And most of them were new drivers. So there's a lot of positive things that's it's helping with this, and it's also saving things too. But drivers back in the day without the system, you get accused. You did it. You're the truck driver. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
decides to out somebody, it's your fault. So don't be afraid to have a camera in your system. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I am against the driver facing cameras. We don't have those here at Rosedale. I'll pray to God they never do. I think that's a little too much. I'm not saying the industry is not pushing that toward that direction.
I, I'm gonna say something based on what you said because I'm totally against driver facing as well. And Rosedale looked at it and they totally didn't want it either.
Good.
Um, but I did want it. I did want it for newer drivers to assist newer drivers. People that just got their license, that need that extra hand for the first little while, not just keep in the truck, or if it was a constant driver that was causing problems. Now we're going to be monitoring you, to try to correct whatever issues.
Right.
And like I said, it wasn't to bring everybody with a driver facing. It was just to assist the people that needed it.
Right.
But what I'm saying it the way it is, and Rosedale didn't want to go that way, and I was good with that as well. But that's what I probably would have done if it came back.
Got a comment down here from Georgia Rob. Says Rosedale seems like a great company. I'm gonna come aboard in March. I promise I'll be safe beast mode. Well, come on, Georgia Rob. Give us a call when you're ready. But hey, make sure you tell them your boy Sean from Trucking Life with Sean sent you over there. I'm just kidding. I'm doing actually orientation. So, but yeah, I've been talking to Georgia Rob for a while.
Rosedale is a good company.
How long you been with Rosedale? What? How many years?
No, well, like I said, I've been driving for 40, and I've been with Rosedale for 30, going 38 years, where I was a driver. I worked in dispatch as a manager for many years. I worked in sales for 5 or 6 years as well, and then from there I went on to safety, where I then went from a professional driver trainer. So, um, and a little bit about myself in 2019. Dale's probably laughing right now, but in 2019 I was also awarded Instructor of the Year here in Ontario.
Right.
And it's not just instructing, and not everybody can instruct. It's about how you instruct, it's how you deal with people. Not everybody's the same. So um, I get along with everybody, and I think everybody gets along with me. And I do the best I can for them. But that's a little bit about myself in 3 seconds. So
There you go. There you go, Joe. Yeah, Joe's a good guy. He's taught me a lot. And so, y'all interested in us doing this podcast? Like I said, this is just a taste of it. We can break down all kinds of controversial stuff and go over a lot of nothing politics though. There'll be no politics on it, but anything to do with trucking, y'all. We're going to break stuff down. We're going to talk about different things. We're going to talk about trip planning. We're going to talk about different rules and regulations, but it's something that I would like to do, and I'm going to start doing it every week, and hopefully have Joe on, and we'll have different people on. But we'll do it on YouTube right now for a while, just to you get momentum up to it, and then I'm gonna we'll probably go on Spotify or something like that, so that way y'all can and on Apple, so that way y'all can listen in your truck, and then when we can conversate on things, and y'all can give us feedback, and we can try to help you, because that's what this is about. It's about helping y'all succeed. When I started this channel, it wasn't about to make money. It was about helping drivers succeed. That's why I started training. That's why I'm in the office now. I mean, I make less inside the office than I did driving. So obviously that's something I enjoy doing. I want to help y'all succeed in doing that. That makes my day. But new drivers out there, just to say, the first year, don't worry about getting the most miles. Worry about getting that good seat time, getting that, because that's when you're going to make some mistakes. And don't be afraid to ask questions. A lot of drivers are afraid to ask. Look, you've got me here at Rosedale, you got Joe, you got all kinds of people you can talk to. But even if you don't work for Rosedale, you can leave me a comment, you can email me. I'll answer anybody back. Follow me on Facebook, Trucking Life with Sean. Follow me over there. I do have TikTok. I don't really mess around with it too much. I need to probably start, but anyway, it's been good talking, Joe. I think this is going to be a good thing. I mean, we're already 45 minutes into it, and I could probably go 3 more hours easy. So,
Yeah, I was going to finish it off by saying
yeah,
that you say at the end, you always say, let's get it.
let's get it.
And I'm going to say, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That sounds good. Let's get it. Let's do it. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Joe. I appreciate all y'all for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, go over to Facebook, follow us on there, and we're going to keep you up to date on this podcast. I'm going to run a survey later on what we should name the podcast. I like 3 drivers, 1 mic. I kind of like that one, but we'll put them all out there and see what y'all come up with. But Joe, it's been a pleasure. Dale, it's been a pleasure, and I'll holler at y'all tomorrow at work. Let's get it.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. There you go. All right, y'all. See y'all next time. Bye.
See you guys.